Ayrton Senna said that karting was pure driving, pure racing, the most breathtaking motorsport in the world. He loved it even more than F1.
Hero, just a hero, just on my bedroom wall as a kid, followed him all the way. His death definitely affected me. So yeah, just everything.
Senna's most dramatic moment came in the 1979 World Karting Championship, which was being hosted in Estoril. He crossed the line in the third final, jubilant, feeling that he'd won the World Championship, but in fact it wasn't him that was champion, but the amazing Peter Kuhne.
Well, it's a replica of 1979 World Champion Peter Kuhne's car. It's yeah, it's DAP GP79, running DAP T72 engine, DAP slide carb, and it's as close as I can get it to what Peter won within the day. No clutches, no radiators, no starter motors, just freedom, sliding, moving, feel alive when you're in them.
Senna came from an era of karting legends: Terry Fullerton, Mike Wilson, Mickey Allen, Peter De Bruin, Peter Kuhne and Kathy Muller, to name but a few. It's no exaggeration to say that Senna's time in karting saw him face some of the toughest competition of his career. The World Karting Championship in Estoril was the scene of Senna's biggest heartbreak in karting, a race held in front of over 10,000 spectators. In 1979, the World Championship format was as follows. Drivers took their best two results from the three finals. Mike Wilson, who ranked first after the heats, started on pole for the first final, but was unfortunately punted off at the first turn, one of the many heartbreaks at the event. The crowd erupted as Senna led the first final, but an engine issue saw him slip back to fifth, with De Bruin taking the win from Kuhne. In the second final, De Bruin's hopes were shattered by a snapped chain while leading. A win in that race would have crowned him world champion. Senna now led, but a mistake allowed Kuhne to pass and take the win. Senna didn't realise at the time that his world championship hopes had slipped away. After all the finals were complete, in the event of a tie, the rankings from the heats would determine the final standings. Kuhne knew this. Going into the third final with a win and a second place, he understood that even if Senna won, Kuhne would take the title based on his higher heat ranking. The only man who could still beat Kuhne was De Bruin. When De Bruin retired from the last final, Kuhne knew that the title was his, even as Senna pulled away at the front. As Senna crossed the line, he celebrated, he was jubilant, but the third final result wasn't the decider in the event of a tie. He was devastated when he learned that he wasn't champion. Kuhne was, but deservedly so. For DAP, Angelo and Achille Perilla, it was pure joy, as they had achieved their dream of winning the World Karting Championship. As for Senna, he may have lost the world title, but he never lost his love for karting. A love of karting reflected in a man who possibly owns a car Senna may have driven.
I restored the car, and I purely did it as a Senna replica. It's only when I got halfway through I just happened to notice it had a hand stamp of 102 written on it, and the production models don't make 102 wheelbase, they only made a 101 and a 104 eventually. So we got in touch with Peter Kuhne, who was Senna's teammate, and he said they made two 102 frames for testing for the 1979 World Championships. So it's definitely a works car, and it's quite possible Senna used it. All he wanted to do was race, and everything he did was focused on racing, everything, which is I think why he liked the karts so much and he promoted them so much, because he understood what they meant as a vehicle. Karting can be your whole life basically, or motor racing. Most people are into motor racing, it is their whole life.
See, Ayrton Senna never looked down upon karting. He always lifted it up. He understood its potential, its beauty. He was always, if you ever watch the old videos, you can see that he had a glint in his eye, he was smiling. You know, when he talked about karting, you saw a different Ayrton. With this video, I hope to celebrate it.